The Netherlands is a charming country, known for its windmills, tulip fields and coffee shops, and admired by many for its progressive policies and forward-thinking attitude. The country boasts a robust social security system that includes universal healthcare, retirement pensions, and maternity leave allowances. These policies are implemented across various other areas too. However, the country's high tax rates and strong employee protections have given rise to jokes that it's nearly impossible to be fired in the Netherlands. While it may appear to be a liberal paradise, there's a dark reality that belies its picturesque facade. Shockingly, the World Bank has identified the Netherlands as the most unequal country globally, with an extent of inequality that is truly staggering. Okay guys, before we continue, do well to give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Typically, when it comes to discussions about wealth inequality, South Africa is often labeled as the worst offender. A Google search on the topic would lead one to this conclusion. But this is not the complete picture. In recent years, South Africa has made progress in addressing wealth inequality. In contrast, the Netherlands stands alone as the only country in the world that is more unequal than the global average. This raises some important questions. Why does such a prosperous country have such a high level of inequality? And what does this reveal about wealth in the modern world? Even though policies similar to those in the Netherlands are being advocated by politicians in the United States to tackle wealth inequality, it is uncertain if they will have the desired effect. To gain a better understanding of this issue, it is essential to examine several key factors. Given the significance of this matter, it is vital to take it seriously and provide it with the attention it deserves from governments worldwide. To attract the attention of decision makers, we need to grasp what they are looking at. The Gini coefficient is a metric used to assess the equality of countries. While many people have heard of this term or seen corresponding graphs, they may not fully comprehend what it signifies. Let's simplify things by imagining an economy with 3 individuals and an annual income of $6. In an equal distribution, each person would earn $2 annually, and if we plotted their cumulative income, we would have a straight y equals x line, with the first person earning $2, second person earning $4, and the third person earning $6. This ideal scenario of complete equality would have a Gini coefficient of 0, indicating that everyone earns the same amount. However, let's now consider the opposite scenario, where one person earns all $6. In this hypothetical economy, the Gini coefficient would be 1, signifying the highest level of inequality as one person controls all the income. In reality, actual economies have many more individuals and dollars involved, and the Gini coefficient will have more decimal points. Nevertheless, it always falls within the 0 to 1 range. The Gini coefficient measures 2 aspects of an economy: income inequality and wealth inequality. While this may not come as a surprise to most viewers, it is an essential metric for measuring inequality in an economy. Okay guys, I hope you smashed that like button already. Might as well hit the subscribe button. Income inequality often receives more attention than wealth inequality, but the former is actually a driver of the latter. Higher earners can save more and watch their savings compound over time, exacerbating the wealth divide. This phenomenon can be seen in the Netherlands and other countries with strong social policies funded by high taxes, such as Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Norway. Despite ranking low in income inequality, all of these nations still have high levels of wealth inequality. Even Sweden, often held up as a model of democratic socialism, has a higher level of wealth inequality than countries like the United States, Brazil, and India. The reason for this lies in the lowest income households whose net worth can be negative due to factors such as student loan debt and lack of assets. In the Netherlands, borrowing on a large scale is common, particularly through home loans. Unlike in most other countries, borrowers are encouraged to borrow over 100% of the value of their homes as a mortgage. The government program, the National Mortgage Guarantee, ensures bank loans on homes, making home loans completely risk-free. Moreover, mortgage repayments are tax deductible, which means that people with large mortgages can claim significant deductions on high incomes. This encourages people to take on debt, which skews the influence of both high taxes and wealth inequality metrics. This has contributed to high wealth inequality in the Netherlands, despite the country's low income inequality, even for the poorest households, where negative net worth is possible due to debt. In the Netherlands, borrowing on a large scale is common, particularly through home loans. Unlike in most other countries, borrowers are encouraged to borrow over 100% of the value of their homes as a mortgage. The government program, the National Mortgage Guarantee, ensures bank loans on homes, making home loans completely risk-free. Moreover, mortgage repayments are tax deductible, which means that people with large mortgages can claim significant deductions on high incomes. This encourages people to take on debt, which skews the influence of both high taxes and wealth inequality metrics. This has contributed to high wealth inequality in the Netherlands, despite the country's low income inequality, even for the poorest households where negative net worth is possible due to debt. Through our research, we discovered that the Netherlands was an early adopter of modern concepts like stock markets, limited liability companies, and speculative assets as far back as the 1600s. Despite experiencing wars and coups over the past 400 years, the nation's system has not undergone significant changes. This has allowed wealthy individuals to pass down their fortunes to future generations without the fear of losing them due to political turmoil. As a result, the wealth in the Netherlands is considered old money. Although the nation's wealthiest individuals may not be as wealthy as American, Chinese, or Russian billionaires, we can gain insights into the nature of wealth in the country by examining the richest person, Charlene de Carvalho Heineken. At 66 years old, she is involved in the beer business, but did not found the Heineken company herself, nor did her father or grandfather. In fact, her great-grandfather merely convinced his wealthy parents to purchase a brewery that he rebranded as Heineken. This family's wealth dates back to the Dutch East India Company, making income taxes ineffective in controlling their wealth since the family hasn't earned an income for generations. Wealth begets wealth, and time is the most powerful variable in compounding money. Typically, wealth is split among heirs, but European elites handle things differently. The majority of the fortune is left to a chosen child, who is trained to protect and maintain the family's assets as discreetly as possible. Other children may still live comfortably, but the wealth is not divided equally as it might be with other families, such as the Waltons. When conducting our research, we discovered that the Netherlands introduced revolutionary concepts like stock markets, limited liability companies, and speculative assets as early as the 1600s, despite experiencing wars and coups. The country's system remained relatively stable for the past 400 years, allowing wealthy families to pass down their wealth through generations without fear of losing it. This is why money in the Netherlands is considered old money. The wealthiest person in the country, Charlene de Carvalho Heineken, provides insight into the nature of wealth in the Netherlands. Her family's fortune dates back to the Dutch East India Company, and as a result, income taxes do not have much of an impact on their wealth since they have not earned an income in generations. Instead, their wealth is compounded over time, which is the most powerful variable in accumulating money. Typically, wealthy families split their wealth among multiple heirs, but European elites often leave the majority of the fortune to a single heir, who is trained to preserve and protect the family's assets. The family structure, combined with a long time frame, can result in a significant concentration. For example, an investor with a 10-year outlook could turn $10,000 into $10,240,000 with a 100% return on their portfolio annually, while a more conservative investor with a 100-year outlook and a 10% annual return could end up with $137,806,123.40. This highlights the significance of time in the market when compounding wealth. Capitalism is likely to become increasingly unequal as time passes, but this effect will be less severe in countries without drastic inheritance schemes. It is not necessarily the top 10 on the Forbes list that will affect these figures, but rather hundreds of other families intentionally staying under the radar. While wealth concentration may not be a problem, it is still preferable to be in the bottom 10% of the Netherlands than in a country like Ethiopia, which is relatively more equal by Gini coefficient metrics. To illustrate my point, I would prefer to be among the least wealthy in the Netherlands than among the most affluent in Ethiopia. This demonstrates that inequality does not necessarily lead to problems as long as there are fair systems in place that provide opportunities for upward mobility, and the welfare and safety of ordinary citizens are not compromised for the benefit of a few. Alright guys, that wraps up our video for today. We would love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you found this interesting, please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more.